everybody, welcome back to our English grammar lessons. So today we're going to talk about comparatives. So first of all, what are comparatives, comparative forms? When we talk about comparative forms, we talk about a form of the adjective or the adverb, okay, when two elements are compared. Okay, this is why it is a comparative, okay? And these two elements can be equal, can be the same, so this book is as interesting as the other, okay? This is on the same level, so this is an equality comparative. Or the first element can be something more than the other, okay? So this book is more boring than the other, okay? So in this case, the first element is on a higher level. This is a majority comparative. Or the opposite, the first element can be on a lower level. This book, okay, is less boring than the other, okay? In this case, it is a minority comparative. What is very important to remember is that when we talk about comparatives, we'll always talk about two elements. Why am I saying this? Because if I talk about one element in front of a group of other elements or the whole world, then I'm talking about a superlative. So this is something else. Okay, I've got a comparative only when I compare two elements. These elements can be, okay, I can use nouns or I can use verbs that become eventually nouns. So when I form the ing form, the gerund, they become nouns. Like for example, playing is more fun than studying. In this case, it is a verb, or better, two verbs, okay, that become nouns using the ing form. Or eventually, I can use groups of elements. This class is more, friendly than the other. Okay, in this case, the class, I'm talking about a group of students, okay, a group of pupils, and there are many of them inside this noun. Doesn't matter. What is important is that I'm talking about that element as a unit, okay, a unit compared to another unit. Okay, so let's start with the majority comparative, which is probably the most difficult. Okay, the other two are very, very simple. I made an example. It's very, very basic, just in order to give us the structure. Okay, so this car, first element, is the verb, obviously, cheaper or eventually more expensive than the other one is the second element of the comparison. So, first of all, okay, car, first element, then the verb, then I got the adjective, okay, the grade level is comparative, and I've got two different forms, two different possibilities, two different way of creating a comparative form, sorry. Now, we are going to see why and how. Then I got this then. Then is the very important word that introduces the second element, okay, of the comparison. This is very, very important, especially for for foreign speakers, like for example Italian speakers. We tend to use of, okay, or other prepositions there, because maybe in our language we have that preposition. Pay attention, in English we got just one possibility, and that possibility is to use then and. Pay attention again, the spelling is T-H-A-N, not E-N, okay, because then, written in the other way, T-H-E-N, is something else. It's an adverbs, okay, it is an adverb, sorry. It means then, so, and after it, okay, it's something different. So then, written this way, okay, is the only possible word that can introduce a second element in a comparative form. Then, What about the adjectives here? So, as I said before, I got two possibilities. The first one is to add the suffix, the final part, er, okay, after the adjective. As in the first case here, so in cheap, that becomes cheaper. So, when shall we use this form? Just for one syllable adjectives. So normally it is said that they are just short adjectives. This is fine, okay, to remember. Okay, it's very easy to remember, but we have to understand what we mean when we say short. It's quite subjective to say, okay, short. Short means one syllable, or eventually two syllables with the ending in y. Okay. So in this case, two syllables with the ending in y, like in easy, okay, allows us to use the er form. I can say easier. I can also say more easy. But anyway, I'm allowed to use this form, easier. The other adjectives, okay, one syllable, there are so many. Long becomes longer, fast becomes faster. Okay, there are really so many. Then the other form is more and the adjective, the base form, and this is used for longer adjectives, so more than one syllable, or eventually we can also use them for the two syllables ending with y, okay, I can use both of them, so it's fine. Pay attention that I use always more and than the base form for adverbs ending in ly. Like for example in slowly, okay, it can only be more slowly. I can't say, I will never say slowlier or whatever. I say that because there can be some confusion, because we talked about the syllables ending with y and we said that you could do that also for the er form, okay, this is true, but adverbs with final li can only use the form with more. Okay, then there are also some adjectives or adverbs that can use both forms. Okay, even if they are not so short, after all, this is an exception. They are quite, quite. I can say quieter, I can also say more quite. Or clever, or again narrow, or again shallow, okay, which is also similar. Simple, okay, I can say more simple, I can also say simpler, simpler. Now, let's remember that this is the general rule for regular adjectives, regular adverbs. There are also some exceptions, as always, so irregular comparatives. So the irregular form for good adjective or well adverb is better. Okay, then here the pronunciation can change, and I apologize because I'm Italian. I'm not a mother tongue speaker, so I know that my pronunciation is not perfect, but I can tell you that there is also a difference in this case, a quite clear difference. Also, so if I try to use an American English, I would say probably better. And if I tried to use British English, I would rather say better. Okay, so this is quite different actually. Anyway, the meaning is the same. Then for bad and badly, okay, the irregular form, the irregular comparative is worse. And again, far, okay, far away, okay, the comparative form it's irregular, it's farther or farther, farther or farther. So they are similar, okay, the spelling is slightly different. For the first one I got a U, okay, and for the second one I got A. They are synonyms, but pay attention, I can use farther with the U also to mean, when I mean additional, additional elements, additional information. For example, I use them also in commercial English, or emails or letters, okay, for further information, okay, means for more information, okay. So it is used to mean also additional, in a quite formal English actually. Another thing I want to remember is that the adjective old, okay, can form the comparative form with older or elder. These are not synonyms actually. So elder is only used when I talk about families, different members of a family, okay, and I compare their ages, okay, while older is obviously in any other case. So this is all about majority comparatives, okay. The other two are quite, they're probably more easy or easier, okay. So equality comparative is used when the two elements are on the same level. So this car is as cheap or as expensive as the other one. In this case, I don't care about the adjective. Okay, I don't care whether it is short or long or why, I don't know why, it doesn't matter at all, okay. I just have to remember that I have to put these two as, okay. The first as is before the adjective, and the second as is after the adjective, before the second element of the comparison. Also in this case, pay attention, no native speakers, okay, because it is often, it's quite common to make this mistake, so to forget about the first as, okay, because in many languages it's not compulsory, okay, it's not necessary to put that. In English it is, so remember both of them, please. Then, minority comparative, also minority comparative is very easy. This car is less cheap or expensive or whatever you want than the other one, okay. So less, okay, less, then less is always the same, then I can put my adjective or adverb if you prefer. Also in this case, short, long, or whatever, no problems, okay. And then I have then, the same then as in the majority comparative, okay, the same. So remember, less than, then I got the second element. Fine, this is all for the moment. I'm going to talk about superlatives also very soon. So if you enjoy my videos, please like or subscribe or share. If you have any questions or anything else you'd like to ask me, please just leave a comment below. Thank you very much for your feedback, and thank you very much for watching, and see you very soon again. Goodbye.